I used to dread the regular blood tests that our allergist would request at our food allergy follow-ups. The scared kids, watching my child go through pain, and then the crying and consoling. The blood tests seemed to cause so much stress for my kids, and it was a struggle every time. I mean, it's just something they had to do, but I always wondered if there was a way to make it easier. Honestly and unfortunately, it wasn't until my girls were much older that I started to realize there are steps you can take to make the whole process of a blood draw or blood test easier. So if you have an allergy blood test in your future, don't miss this episode. Let's get to it. Hey food allergy mama, if you're here, you've likely experienced the scary and lonely food allergy diagnosis with your child. Unfortunately, food allergy parents aren't taught how to navigate the food allergy lifestyle, and it's easy to feel alone and discouraged sometimes. But I'm here to show you that food allergy life doesn't have to feel restrictive, scary, or isolated. I'm Corinna, and I'm a 17-year food allergy mom and food allergy coach at Friendly Pantry Consulting. I specialize in making food allergy life safer and less worrisome for food allergy families like yours. I'm not perfect, but over 17 years, I've learned a lot the hard way, and I'm sharing the secrets and resources you won't hear anywhere else that will help you feel confident living with food allergies faster and easier than I did. From introducing allergens, travel, navigating school, and educating friends and family, this podcast will give you the essential tips and strategies you need to help your food allergy child and family thrive. Welcome to the show. Let me start today with a story. So imagine your child is a small sailboat and you, the food allergy mom, are a lighthouse. In the early years, your child's boat is tied close to the shore. You shine your light brightly by reading labels, advocating for them, and ensuring they stay safe. You realize you can create a safe bubble for them because you make sure they avoid the dangerous rocks and the treacherous waves. But as your child grows, the wind picks up and their boat begins to drift further from the dock. You can't hold the boat forever. Eventually, they need to navigate on their own. But here's the key. Your light has taught them to recognize the dangers of food allergies and how to steer clear of them. What you've shown them when they're in your little bubble has prepared them to speak about their allergies, recognize unsafe foods, and equip them for whatever they face out at sea. By empowering them now, you're ensuring they can sail safely and confidently so you don't have to worry so much as they get older and when they're away from you. So if you want a clear list of skills to teach your food allergy child aged 2 to 7 years old, grab my free Food Allergy Kids Empowerment Guide. It's going to give you a list of skills to teach your child plus fun ways to do it in everyday life. Pause this episode now and go to the link in the show notes and grab it right away. Did you get it? If so, let's get to those tips to make food allergy blood tests less scary. Tip number 1 is to talk about what to expect at the blood test, honestly. So what you want to do is explain that the blood test feels like a little poke. It might feel uncomfortable or even hurt, but it will only last a second. Show them how long a second is. If you can be honest and take that surprise away, it can make a big difference. It can also help to do practice blood draws with a stuffy or a doll. When they see that their favorite stuffy can do it, it makes it much easier for them too. Tip number 2 is to keep your child well hydrated on the day of the allergy blood test. So starting at the beginning of the day, but especially about an hour before, try to get them to drink even more. Juice boxes, water, whatever your child is able to drink is going to be helpful. Keeping them hydrated makes those veins easier to see and find, which means things will go quicker and be less uncomfortable. Tip number 3 is right before and during the allergy blood test, try to engage your child's 5 senses. Not too long ago, I learned an anxiety strategy from our psychologist. This wasn't a strategy for blood tests specifically, but I was able to adjust it slightly, and my daughters and I both tried it, and it made blood tests easier. Our psychologist taught us that it's very hard to be anxious when all of our senses are engaged. She prepared us with a grounding method that lowers anxiety, and I made some adjustments for smaller kids. You can start this process as soon as you're in the room of the blood test, and just repeat it until the blood test is done. Here's how you engage your child's 5 senses. First, ask your child to find 5 things they can see. So this might look like asking your child to show you 5 things that are blue around the room, or if they don't know colors yet, ask them to point out where all the dogs are in a book. Then you want your child to have 4 things that they can feel. So this might mean bringing 4 different textures and asking your child to touch each one. Soft, rough, bumpy, fluffy. There's actually a really great kids book series by Fiona Watt, and it's called That's Not My. And there's all different kinds of things. So there's That's Not My Fairy, That's Not My Kitten, That's Not My Unicorn, all these different things. But each one of those books has different textures and different things that the kids can feel. So it's definitely a great idea for something like this when you're trying to engage your child's touch sense. So if your child is older and these books don't work for you, you could also bring some small items and ask them what it feels like. For example, a tissue or maybe a key or a piece of plastic, whatever's in your purse, really. The next thing you want to do is ask your child for 3 things that they can hear. So if they can hear someone talking or they can hear plastic ruffling, if there's things in the room that are making noise, great. But if not, it might look like you whispering 3 words or sounds or singing songs and asking your child to repeat them. The next thing is to have 2 things that your child can smell. So it's kind of hard to smell things in a hospital or medical setting. So if you have some scratch and sniff stickers, you might want to pop those in your purse. And if you bring them along, you can get them to tell you what they smell like. And the last thing is 1 thing that you can taste. Now, this might look like bringing a small taste of something they love to eat. If your child is old enough to slowly suck on sour candy, that is ideal. So we use Sour Patch Kids. They are top allergen free, and our psychologist says that the sour flavor is especially good at engaging our sense of taste. If your child is younger, pick something appropriate for their age. So what do you think? Will these tips help you calm your child for an allergy blood test? Send me a quick DM on Instagram and let me know which tip you're going to try. My handle is @friendlypantry. If you found this episode helpful at all, please leave a 5-star review. This is the only way I know that you like the podcast, and it helps other food allergy families find it as well. Thanks for listening, and bye for now. Before you go, Mama, if you love this episode and want deeper support, head over to friendlypantry.com to see how we can partner together to keep your food allergy child safer and worry less. There's no need for wasting time searching all over Instagram, TikTok, and the web to get the practical knowledge you need for your family. While you're there, grab your free Food Allergy Kids Empowerment Guide or the newly diagnosed checklist today. Topics are not medical advice and are the opinions, views, and property of Friendly Pantry Consulting Incorporated. All rights reserved. Always contact your board-certified allergist immunologist for health advice.